Hey, what's up guys, welcome to the new video. Today I'm going to talk about 2D designing. It's more like you're doing the measurements or taking the measurements to make sure the design which you're about to start falls in the exact dimension which was provided. Alright, so here we don't really need a ring ID, but I have a circle here which will just give you an idea, like, you know, if you have an ID and an outer ID. For now I'm just going to offset 1.7 on the side. That's the thickest part over here on the right hand side, let's say at 3 o'clock, and I'm going to draw a line from here, a straight line, and the same over the other side as well. Okay, alright, so let's imagine you have a princess, 0 enter, 5 by 5, and then you do an offset. Let's say you want to set some halo diamonds on it. That's going to be around 1.5. so usually what I do here is I keep a gap of 0.1 obviously, but with the sharp edges, and then I do a 1.5 offset again for the halo. Now when you do an offset, you know, there are some parameters we have to take care, like for example, if you're doing a pavé on computer, pavé which has a border on the sides, so I normally, what I do here, I keep it around 0.3 to 0.2 the depth, and the diamond size, let's take it as 1.5, and then 0.2 again, and 0.3 again, right? So yeah, so we have the points already here. Like if I move it down, I'll move it down around 0.3, and the edge over here or on the side, let's for now let's just take it, you know, something, a slight taper, it's not going straight, and then you can offset around 0.8, let's say the wall thickness, and from here I'll do a 0.7 offset. You can even do 0.6, depend on how thick you want the setting area to be. You can even work with 0.5, but I prefer to go 0.6, but nothing less than 0.6. all right. So here I'm gonna keep this cap option none, and I will offset this around 0.7 for now. Okay, you can just scale it down, because as you can see, this is something we don't really want over here, so you can get rid of it, or you can just select the points and move it on the side. Okay, yeah, for now let's just do that. Okay, and then you drag a straight line down this way. Now you have all of these curves ready, and now it's time to do a curve boolean on them. So I select them here, just follow this shape. Okay, so this area, this is more like the setting area, and this over here is the side wall, okay, which we later on can just reduce the height, or we can do any other activity over there. All right, so for now I have my curve ready. So okay, all right, what I miss over here is you can, whenever you use this option, there are some settings which I normally keep them delete input all, combine region yes, and then all region. So just follow your parameters, right click, so you don't have any of these unwanted curves. All right, okay, so now this was more for 1.5 millimeter stone. I want to show you the dimension over here. This is 1.5, and we can go smaller as well. So you know, if you need to make any library or library for your profiles, for your selected diamonds, you can always do that. Okay, So this goes the same. This parameters is always the same. I prefer them 0.3 to and 0.2 over here. Okay, this can go 0.3 to 0.4 or even 0.5, but it's all depend on the design. Okay, but these are the standard one which I've been using since many years. So, and I never had any issue with this. Okay, so you know now what you have to do is for 1.5 millimeter stone we need the channel over here, which is 1.5. okay, and this goes down around 0.3, and this over here is 0.2, the distance, the slant, the slope, and this thing over here is 0.3. okay, so these are the standard parameters, and this on the side I kept it around 0.8, but you can go around 0.6 or 0.7, however you want. You know, if you need a thicker ring, you can keep it even 1 millimeter. Alright, so I have this ready over here. I'm going to move this from this end to this over here. Okay, so this is exactly at the mid. Yeah, you can see here it's exactly on the mid, and you can always move this up. Now once you have this, you can always, you know, bring it down or move it inside a bit depending on how you want to get it fixed. And but when you do this, when you just move it inside, make sure you draw a circle over here, or sorry, a straight line from this end to another end over here, and then you do a offset. Okay, you do a offset again, because if you notice the thickness over here, it's a bit thinner. Okay, so we just need to adjust this thickness, and that's why I'm going to move the point from point to perpendicular. So I'm just going to move this or the intersection, and that should do the work. Okay, so we got it fixed, and what we can do here is select any of this profile rail here and just do a sweep one. So we can see here pave is ready. All right, now something I want to add here is, in case you need this profile, you know, to be a bit slanted. So what I'm doing over here is, okay, let me just go one more step back, because we might need again to fix, you know, the thickness. All right, so once you have this profile, select this all points together and just rotate this around, let's say a 5 degree, something between 5 to 10. You know, it's all visual. You know, when you see your ring and you feel like, you know, this has to be fixed, or the angle needs to be more slanted or a bit upwards, you can always do this changes later on as well, once you know how to edit them. Okay, so the same thing goes over here. So I'm going to move this point again to the perpendicular. There is a slight difference, but that's very nominal. That's fine. It should not affect any of our technical thickness. All right, so this is ready. You can even move this up if you want, but you know, if it's a basic sweep one, it's not doing any harm to our work over here. Okay, so as you can see now, this is a bit slanted, and if you need any more adjustment, the same way you can select those points and you can edit them, and you will have few updates. As you can see here, its history is updated, and so is the result is updating on our file. Okay, for now I'm just not doing anything you know, much over here. I just want to show you how you can use such a profile, save it, and all right, here one more thing. if instead of making it straight, if I just do it a little bit of arc here, that would help me, you know, to look good. But it again depends from shape to shape. But let me just give you a small idea. Alright, so what I do here, normally I select the one which we have already and I try to rebuild them with 4 points. Okay, and I prefer that to rotate instead of. Okay, now something I want to tell is I always use this ones, okay, and not the one on the side. So I would say that if you just follow the same, that way, you know, will be following the same result. Okay, so here how it looks. Okay, bit dome on the side, and we can do the same thing again over here, just to make sure, you know, everything is at the right thickness. Okay, so here I would just delete this one, because, you know, to edit a dome curve is more like, you know, like a headache. So what I would do is just delete, just make a new line over here and then join them back to this one. Okay, and I prefer to trim it rather than just doing a curve boolean. Okay, so for some reason it didn't join. Let me see what's the reason over here. Let's join this. Okay, we have two curves here and that's why we have a problem. Alright, so join it, and it's two curves joined into one closed curve. Alright, okay, so we are good now to go. Select, sweep one, enter, and you have a result over here. Okay, so here this is more like a what do you call it, yeah, this is like more like how you can do a halo ring. And if you had an extra row, you could just add the same thing but without the what do you call it, without the metal on the side. Okay, or if you have two rows to be done, here's what I would do. Okay, so coming back to 2D, let's say if I need a diamond of 1.5, I'm just gonna copy this here, sorry, move it down like 0.1, oopsie, 0.1, yes, select, and I'm gonna array this to 6. That's because I prefer to do a you know, hexagonal honeycomb setting. Okay, so we have a 2 row here, and this is what we need to know. We need to know the width, the space we need to set 2 rows of diamonds. So it's 2.89. all right, so you can just keep around 2.9 for 2 rows, and that's what you have to just take care over here. So I can select all this together, and we already have 1.5 over here, so I have to move 1.4 to match it with 2.9. so from this end to this end, I'm just gonna type 1.4 and press here. Okay, and what you have to do here is you can always check the dimension. All right, okay, so select this and select this profile, and there you go. Now you have 2 rows ready. Okay, This edge over here we can't really do, and this shouldn't be a problem. I sometimes prefer to just fillet them or ignore them because it's not really affecting anything on my settings, so it's fine even if it's there. Okay, so just leave it like that. Okay, now something which you have to take care is when you set stone, you know, you come at a point where it's not really possible to set two rows, or the stone on the corners, they don't really share an equal distance. So here's what I do. I just offset this edge curve. Okay, sorry, it's just the duplicate edge. Yes, join this, rebuild, or you can ignore this for the moment, and then I'm gonna offset this on surface, offset curve on surface, select the surface, and I'm gonna offset 1.5 divided by 2. So this is where it falls. You can just scale it out. Okay, select this edge over here and this edge, and trim this, and rebuild this with 2 and 1. Okay, now here's a trick. If I need to quickly see, you know, what gap I would need to set them, I'll just make a sphere here, and I'm going to use this option which says array along curve on surface, or you can do array along surface. So the base points, it's going to be 0, enter. So I have F4 set as my 0, and then I'm going to click here on the curve, and array by number of items. Alright, so let's take it as 30. Oops, sorry, I did something wrong here. Base point, select the base point F4 and select the path over here. Okay, yeah, what I did, I have to put an input of the distance I need. So with 1.5 millimeter diamond, I need a gap of 0.1. So I'm going to type here 1.6 and then press enter. Okay, and then once I have an estimation of how many diamonds it's going to set, you can see over here it's going to set like 7 diamonds. So I'm going to go back to the items and then just press 7 instead of pressing the distance. So what it does the calculation on its own, and it's clear that it's definitely not less than 1.6. so it's more than 1.6, but at the same time it's fitting perfectly. Okay, and you can just do a array polar to see, you know, if it's setting perfectly or no on the outside. Okay, and the same way we're gonna do the same way over here, but just to make sure, you know, you can't use the same technique for the inside one. The reason is your diamond might touch each other, so we have to be careful. And this time I just try to do orient on surface command, which is over here, orient object on surface. The base point is F4 again. Click here and just do a copy here. So 1 in the middle and 1 over here, and I think that's it. We can't really set any more diamonds here, but then this is something we have to take care you might end up with such a gap over here, which I would say is we have to see if we can just we can set one diamond over here and a bigger diamond over here and a smaller here, or we set a bigger here and then try to adjust this gaps over here. Okay, so this is something you have to take care. Normally it's very rare with the princess, you know, to have 2 rows of diamond, but if you have such a scenario, this is what you have to do. You have to work out on the 2D part before you do any of this calculation. Okay, so yeah, that's it with this one. You can just do a boolean with your halo pattern, and then you can just draw the shank, or if you need to add something, you know, similarly like a third stone on the side, I would say you can always make it at the center and then move it around. Okay, so let me give you a small demo here. Okay, so here right now, let's get this back to 1.7. I'm going to move like 1.4 to what it was previously. Okay, it's 1.9, so I need to move it more, but that's fine for the moment. I'm going to yeah, just move this. Okay, I'm going to do one more copy of this section. Let's do a copy 0.4. Okay, for some reason, I'm not really sure, seems like the points, they don't really have the points I gave them earlier, so I have to see what is wrong here, or I can just rebuild this. Yeah, the same. Okay, alright, so let's just do a normal revolve as if you're doing it for a round stone on a side. Okay, I see, that's the reason it's been moved from the position. Sorry for that, my project was off. Okay, so let me do this again, but at the same time I want to make sure that I'm selecting the right curve. So 1.5, yeah, better result this time. Copy this inside for a smaller stone. And here we have a smaller halo, okay, for a small stone. And once you have it ready on the center, you can move it aside like this and rotate it unless it matches with your ring. Okay, so this is your ID. Make sure this, you know, this goes inside the ID. Okay, it should not be popping out. So for now, well, you have two options. You can edit this curve and bring it inside, or for now I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to rotate a little less, making sure that I have something to cut from down. Okay, and that's it. I'm sure you guys know how to edit the outside ID to match with your ring, and this is just to have an idea, like, you know, of the shank, how it's gonna be. So you don't really have to worry about the shape. This is something you do it in the beginning, and in the end what you do here is just do a boolean. Okay, we already have this thing over here, so I'm gonna do a boolean with the ring ID, and it should be done. That should be it. Two on the other side. Okay. Alright, so my ID here is not really that good, so it's giving an impression of the shank is out of shape, but that's fine. We are not really worried about that. So what I can do here is I can just draw a simple shank with the base 1.5, sorry, 2.5, okay. I would rebuild this curves, both of them. That's it, and you can just cut this out. Alright, so here's the trick. If you don't have anything to cut, we can extract the surface from here. Extract surface, make a copy, enter, and then hide this one, or you can lock it however you want. And here I'm gonna do a untrim. Alright, and just cap this thing. So just mirror this on the other side, and we are good to go with the boolean option. And you delete this one, you delete this one, delete this one, and you bring back your halo. That's it. So I hope this video was helpful. Enjoy the next pre-recorded video where I've done the same thing but in different manner in Matrix. And if you have anything to ask, you can always join my group, and you can comment down in the group so I know who is actually commenting and who wants to know what. And please, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and do visit my CG page if you have something to buy from my ready collection. Thank you very much for watching.